Scary Hours podcast. I'm your host, DJ Los, and I'm here with my new best friend, Leo, and some homeless guy.
Welcome, everyone.
Leo, how you doing, bro? Let's just ignore this guy over here. I don't know what he's talking about. How you doing over there, Leo?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Like I said, we just spoke 2 hours. 2 hours
ago, basically. Yeah.
We back on, bro. I'm getting into the flow now. So feeling good. Feeling ready to listen to what you guys have to say today.
We're content creators. Yeah. So I figured on our last phone call, me and you spoke about Shiva, and so what better thing to do but bring him on and get his perspective, basically. And I'm hoping that maybe you kind of see both sides, like you said, and so maybe you can help us kind of sort this out for the people's enjoyment. So,
for sure, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the ego first. I'll just share with you one thing because today I was taking a shower and I realized something, that this word ego is such a huge barrier between people and spirituality. It's like seen as something bad or wrong. I guess to some extent it is bad, because when you're full of delusions and your mind is so hard, nothing can penetrate, nothing can go inside. That's what we call the ego. But the ego is also your personality, and it's good. And it's good to have a strong, safe, secure personality, not to be able to be pushed around. I'm not here to be pushed around. I'm inflating my ego purposefully just to have some fun. And I'm going to inflate my ego to the size of a balloon or a hot air balloon. You just watch me. But there's no issue, there's no problem. So, you have to consider, is the ego hurting the individual? Is it my ego hurting me? Which is no. I'm fully done with that now. Maybe the ego is hurting you. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe I have to kind of, calibrate myself, but also you should look inside. If I'm making you feel uncomfortable, that's something you should consider. That's how I see the ego.
How do you feel about that, Leo? I want to reserve my comment for now.
Yeah, me personally, I feel at peace. I think that when I hear Los and I hear what he has to say, there is some concern around the path that you're going down. And for you to have this much inflatement at 3K subscribers is scary to see what will happen when you have 30K or 300K. And so I think it's important that you build on a foundation of pureness.
Yes.
And that's really where I'm coming.
Yeah, I don't see how you think this is a joke or something, Shiva.
Leo, your camera turned off.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
I'm on my phone now.
Yeah, we can still see you. You're good. Yeah, I just don't see how you think this is a joke, Shiva. What part of this do you think is funny for you to be joking around like that?
It is a big joke to me. I don't know why you're taking it so seriously. I just put on some white robes and now all of a sudden, that's it, it's over. Chaos, call the fire department. What's going on here? What am I saying? What am I doing? It's okay. Just leave me alone and I'll be good.
You don't think that you're playing an important role that is like outside of the realm of joking? Like, is this how Sadhguru treats people when they come to him? Does he just say, who cares what I say because it's actually just a big joke? Is that how he carries himself?
I don't know how Sadhguru carries himself, or I do know, but I'm not willing to share it here. I know how I carry myself. This is how I'm choosing to be. So if you have some personal faults with me, you let me know now. Maybe I can fix it. Otherwise, what do you want me to say? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah,
what am I doing wrong?
I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, just to like, all right. Let's just cut the cord here, okay? Let's just be honest about this. So I spoke about this with Leo on the other show. This is what I think, right? This was all a big joke to me from the beginning. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, hey, let's call it some internet drama. We're going to joke around. We're going to laugh. We've already been having these conversations for years. What's the problem? What's the difference? We're just going to record it, right? That's what I've been thinking. And then what really changed it for me was this Discord server. People started coming on, and I started realizing that this is not a joke. There's people who actually believe that you have magical powers, who actually are making decisions important for their lives based on the advice that you give them. And most of these people are like traumatized little kids. And then I was like, wait a minute, we we actually have a responsibility here. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty serious, right? And so the main thing that we started to discuss was like because Leo was trying to tell me like, but Carlos, who cares? You know, he's playing a role and people seem to get value out of it. What's the big deal? And I'm trying to just explain to him, and I want to hear what your response is on this, Shiva. Is that I think that you're showing a bad example because you're basically living a life that's lazy, from my point of view, and irresponsible and afraid, to be honest with you. And I want to know, if you had to tell me what's the difference between being spiritual from your point of view, I asked Leo this too, but from your point of view, what is the difference between being afraid, lazy, and avoiding life, and then what you would call spiritual?
Do you have any thoughts or anything to add to this?
That's for
Leo?
That's for you, Shiva. I'm asking you.
Well, my friend, you go to your closet, pull out some white bed sheets, wrap yourself around that, put a little necklace on, sit in front of the camera, and talk for 20-30 minutes sharing your ideas and call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, spiritual master. Let's see how comfortable or uncomfortable or how fearful you're going to be. I don't see I display any signs of fearfulness. Maybe I ran away from the society. I did run away very fast, and I'm still choosing to run away. I shall never return. Why? What is there to return to, my friend? I'd rather sleep in the forest.
How do you know what you're running away from if you've never really fully immersed yourself in that?
Secondly, you're saying about responsibility. I fully understand the responsibility that I have. This, for the most part, is entertainment. I'm here to enjoy life and share some little fun things. When it comes to me speaking to an individual, it's very different. It's not like this. I know my responsibility. So, I'm yet to have someone come to me and say, oh, Shiva's advice destroyed my life or something bad happened. That's not my intention. So here you're just seeing some caricature of me, or basically I'm me being in character here. But essentially here I'm held to help human beings out. Why? Because I don't enjoy pain. I want happiness. And that's why I choose to help people.
I spoke to a gentleman today for 2 hours on the Discord who was telling me that he believed that you broke his addiction because you have magical powers.
Well, that's his belief. You let that be how it is. I'm not sure what I did to him or for him. He came to me saying, hey, I have this addiction with tobacco, chewing tobacco, and I saw the energy, how it's going. So, buddy, 3 days is going to be gone from you. And it did. So he changed him, essentially, but I'm just here a little blowing the wind. Hey, I'm going to blow this wind a little bit here, and you're going to change. Well, I changed. Sorry. Okay.
So, and you're not concerned about what kind of a dependency that can create in his mind on you, and also maybe his lack now of beliefs in himself. Because I told him, I said, oh, you quit your addiction, cool. Give yourself a pat on the back. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. It was Shiva. I've been trying to do this for 15 years and I never could, but he would just said it and it happened. Yeah. And I was like, what?
Doesn't that have any merit? If he's doing that for 15 years and I come along one video, buddy, this is going to be gone. Oh no, it's a science. We need to prove this. Buddy, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to create a dependency on him. He do whatever he wants. I hope he's strong enough to, change his own mind. But yes, I'm not here to deny it. I have certain abilities. I can't fly or levitate. If I would, I'd definitely demonstrate it and tell you. But I don't. But certain things I do have, and that's what I help people with.
Okay, let me just address one more point on this, and then we can move on. Because yesterday I was depressed all day because everybody's sitting here calling me a hater. Everybody's saying that I'm blocking myself. Everybody's saying that I'm basically ruining your life now somehow. When I'm thinking I'm trying to help these people and they're all calling me names. So I'm gonna give up on that. If you guys want to believe what you want to believe, have fun. Answer me this question, Shiva. Is there any merit to what I'm saying? Because I know you know where I'm coming from, and you know the reason why I say things. You know that we've been friends for 6 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, and you know that I know all your fears. You told me all the things you were afraid of when I met you. And you know damn well that the reason that you chose to become this person is because you basically have an aversion to everything else, essentially. Like, you couldn't leave your house you were when I met you. And now I just see you as taking this path because it's like, what else are you gonna do, right? And so to me, I was telling Leo, that doesn't seem enlightened to me. That seems like you're just afraid. And I want you to speak to that.
Well, one thing I want to address here is that you're saying I couldn't leave my house. That's not factually true. I didn't leave my house for many months and years, actually. I didn't.
Okay, but I want to make it clear whether that's factually true or not. I would never know because I didn't live in Canada with you, but that's what you told me.
Yeah, but I didn't leave because what was there to leave to, man? Well, am I going to go to some bars or nightclubs? I already done that. When am I going to go? I need to go grocery shopping, but what else is there? You know, I'm living inside of a concrete, like, I can go to a park, but it's like a little 1 kilometer square, just everything's buzzing. Oh, this is great. No, I stayed at home, stayed on my computer. That was the most pleasure for me. And now I'm here in the forest. That's exactly where I want to be. So, you know, it's not some fear. Oh, I'm so scared of... Yeah, I'm scared of pain. That's why I don't live there.
You're scared of pain. Tell me more about that.
No, not necessarily I'm scared, but I'm averse to pain. I don't enjoy pain. I don't like pain. I don't like being put in positions where I'm in pain. Pain is not good for human beings. You know, living some buzzing, concrete, no nature, that's very unpleasant for me. So I chose to leave.
So what is the point of becoming enlightened then, Shiva? Or how do you know if you're enlightened? If you're just avoiding all pain, you're just running away from pain.
Aren't you running away from pain? Isn't this natural? Come on. What, you're purposely going towards pain and you're enjoying, you know, hurting yourself or whatever else?
I do whatever. I do the same thing that I did always, right? The only difference is now that I feel way less pain because I just decided to feel differently about it. So to me, that's a transformation. That's like my circumstances haven't changed, but my internal mindset did. And so that seems more like an enlightenment than what you're talking about, which is you're actually removing yourself and running away from whatever it is that's causing you pain. What transformation is that? You didn't transform, you just ran.
Yeah. We need to remove this word enlightenment. It's not a correct term. It's realization. So you realize, I'm realized, Leo realized. It's it. So I could know some things, but be different, a lifestyle, you know. But you come over here, you know. You come over here, spend some time here, very kind of not luxury conditions, 1 hour away from civilization. Let's see how enlightened you are here. Mosquitoes buzzing around. Let's see. Come on. You're going towards pain. You like pain. Come on.
When one of your clients comes to you and they say, "Hey, Shiva, I'm going through this. I'm going through that. Blah blah blah." What are you going to tell them? Quit your job and just come be homeless with me, or what is your advice?
If they're on the brink of that or cusp of that, and they need some advice or need some kind of encouragement, yeah, quit your job. Let's go. But that's not 99%. 99% of people are just you're fine the way you are right now, and it'll take years for you to change your lifestyle in any significant way. I'm not here to tell you to quit anything.
Do you recognize what an advantaged, privileged life you live off the back of other people?
Yes, I do. I live an extremely privileged life. Not off the back of people, but out of the generosity of people. Because they see something in me. But, you know, people give me things wherever I go, and people want to help me. For some unknown reason, maybe it's like, whoa, the universe is making a mistake. No, it's not making a mistake. It's because I've done inner work within myself and just how I am. Not off the backs. Okay? Let's be real here.
Oh, Lois, when I listen here, I don't feel like there's anything wrong that he's saying such. I kind of wish I didn't like Shiva, to be completely honest. And I kind of wish that I disagreed with what he was saying, but he's actually speaking a lot of facts. I think that his intentions are pure.
You don't see, there's no level of like snake energy that you're feeling from this all, like snake, sniveling, weasel, like conniving. None of that is coming across to you at all?
There is definitely some like weasel energy, right? There's some integrated weasel energy for sure. But for the most part, it seems like he's got pure intentions and he does want to help people. Because when I listened to you in the last podcast, you say he doesn't care about helping people. He's just creating an act and he's just deceiving people and people are just paying him money and he's taking advantage of these people. I don't see that, to be honest. I really don't.
I told you on the last podcast that he thinks that he chose the womb that he was born in to come and teach us all, right?
I have to get back on that.
I mean, what do you say to that? Is that true?
We did a podcast with each other, and Carlos said something off the cusp, like, "Oh, did you choose your womb?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Yeah." So let me expand. Did I consciously plan some astral realm? Okay, but now this is what I'm saying. It feels like, yeah, I've chose this person, this mom, because my conditions of life were so favorable, so easy. I didn't again sit behind some desk. I'm gonna choose. Not like this. But that's just what it feels like. I've been born in extremely favorable conditions. My mom is extremely spiritual. So yeah, in a sense, like, it's not an accident that I just poof. Oh yeah, here I am, and doing all this, and how my mind is. No, of course, some kind of my subconscious or whatever. So this is Carlos took it a little bit. I didn't expand. I didn't clarify.
This is our entire conversation always. It's always him making these statements and then walking them back when he gets pressed on them. Before, when I met him, he was terrified to leave the house. We expanded on it. He told me specifically, "Oh, people outside have guns. Why would I go outside? It's scary out there."
But look, maybe he's overcome that. Maybe why would we need to hold him to his past? Like, we've all done some shit, you know. We've all been in dark times. So why would we need to hold someone to that?
Well, it's because it's like a slippery slope, you know. It starts off with one little lie that adds on to another little lie that adds on to now there's children basically out there that think he has magical powers to heal them. You know, and it's like, at what point do you finally take responsibility for your own words? You know, and say, okay, yeah, maybe I am misleading people and going down the wrong path. Like, you know, he seems to basically think that there is no repercussions for the things that he says, and that it doesn't basically matter. And I think it's disingenuous, and I think it's BS, to be honest with you. So, like, you know, because at some point this stuff is gonna build up, Leo. Right now, it's like, you know, he's right now it's like on the cusp, right? Like he's barely making it by. He's got some people that doubt him. He's got some people that believe him. But clearly, over time, if this keeps happening, just like you said, with 3,000 followers, imagine when he's at 300, you know? And then basically my voice gets drowned out, and then he's just surrounded by people who just want to worship him. Imagine. You think he's going to stop them? At that point, he's going to be like, no, guys, no. He's going to run with it.
And I mean, I think there's definitely a part of you that loves the idea of people glorifying you. True or not true?
Of course. 100%. Yes.
Okay, good. As long as you admit that, that's all that matters.
Yes, sir.
And so let's say, for example, you had 2,000 people that were praying to you and gurifying you. What would you be doing with those people? What would be your intention with those people?
First of all, I'd say don't pray to me. It doesn't work, generally. Meditate, pray to me, whatever. If you have devotion to me, congratulations, great. What would I do? Nothing. What is there to do? You make sure you practice morality. Don't hurt life. That's one intention that I have for them. Meditate. Okay, I guess you're doing that. And gain wisdom, because we need more conscious people on the planet. And then give me money, because that's all that I need, really.
Leo, the part that I just want, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. I'm never going to speak about this again. I want everybody to grasp in their mind that the possibility that two things can be true at the same time. Because I know where your question comes from, Leo. It comes from like a place of like, okay, look, as long as the end result is good, then hey, right? But I want people to really understand that two things can be true at the same time. He could be absolutely helping people with the things that he says, because, I mean, what is he doing besides just regurgitating things that all other Buddhists and gurus have said? So, okay, yeah, of course that's going to help people. But the fact that he's using that as a vehicle to make money and to gain some kind of fame and fortune for himself, I still don't think that I think those two things can be true at the same time, and I don't know what that makes you guys feel. To me, it makes it feel wrong, but if you guys are okay with it, I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Okay. Time and his energy towards spiritual mastery, that in the same way that you devote your time to becoming a DJ. So what would be the difference between you making money and him making money?
I know that it sounds like that, but it's just I don't know. I just have a different impression of gurus, man. Like I've never seen anything like this before. You know, most of the time when I see a guru, it looks more like a person that's trying to run away from fame and fortune. And that people are just kind of like knocking his door down to give it to him. And he's just like, no, I don't want it. All this life is meaningless. And he's just trying to like, but this guy's just like, yes. Like, it almost seems like it was the opposite. It was like, how can I get fame and fortune? It's like, well, people happen to like Buddhism. Let me talk about that. It just seems weird to me. I don't know.
I think that if you want to create impact in this world and serve your dharma, your mission, your purpose, then you get to reach mass amounts of people. Look at Jesus, for example. He has the biggest cult following in the world. He built the biggest brand in the world. And through that, he was the people that he wanted to impact.
Jesus is a perfect example. Look at what Jesus did. He did things purposefully to the point where he knew that basically he was breaking Roman laws, and he suffered the consequences for it. Do you think that that's the self-sacrificial path that Shiva here is on? I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you want to create impact in this world and you're a spiritual individual, there's nothing wrong with seeking fame and influence. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying, and I have to agree with you to some degree. I'm just saying, when I think about Jesus is more like what I was saying, which is somebody who looked like to me that he was actually trying to run away from all of it. And then that's what he became famous for. You get what I'm saying? Whereas I see this guy, it's just like, I don't know, dude. To me, I feel like everyone kind of knows what I'm talking about because you all see it. This guy sitting here, he literally tells you to your face, I'm better than all of you. But yet, and still, you guys all sit here and want to acknowledge him as some spiritual master. It's really weird to me. I don't understand how any of you are fighting me on this. I've never heard a spiritual guy talk like that in my life. Everything that I know about spirituality basically says that you're not supposed to talk like that. And I mean, I think it's insanity, you know. But like I said, I've gotten to the point now where like I was having this huge dilemma about it last night, and I'm seeing all the backlash that I'm getting, and I'm realizing, you know what, maybe, you know what, the universe is heading in this direction. I can't stop it. So hey, maybe I'm just gonna become one of his followers. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I hope that makes sense, Leo. I'm conflicted, dude, and I don't know. Like, I can't. It's one of those things, and that's why I call it weaselly, because it's very weaselly. It's very like, you know, I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something about it that I don't like. It doesn't sit well, you know. But it's like, you know, he's a word ninja. He's been doing this all his life, lying and coming up with bull crap, and you know, he gets by. This is how he lives. Everything that he says, even from when he's like, oh, you know, I offer spiritual guidance and meditations, and you know, you don't have to pay me. You have to pay me, but you know, if you want to give me a donation, like that's his whole thing. He's a weasel. Everything about him is a weasel. You know, everything he does is weaselly. Oh yeah, I didn't tell him that I do magic, but if he wants to believe it, hey, you see, everything is weaselly. Oh yeah, you know, Carlos off the cusp, he said something. Yeah, I did say I came out of the womb, but we didn't expand on it. Are you getting this? Do you see the theme? You see how reoccurring it is?
What do you have to say to that, Shiva?
I have to say to that, thank you, is that I'm realizing that I have to be very careful with my speech, especially when I'm in public like this, because the regular people, they won't understand and they will misunderstand. And misunderstanding here is very severe. Very severe. So let me clarify this. Yes, I do have magical powers. I'll say it like this. Yes, correct. And to the degree of my magical powers, I mean, it's too subtle to really feel, or I mean, if you have meditation practice, you can see it. It's not really some big feats. But as I progress, I'm sure I'll be able to do some more extreme things, some more amazing things, and I'll definitely display that to you. And yes, you talk to me, okay? Whoever you are out there on planet Earth, if you have issues, you have challenges, I can just so easily, effortlessly help you solve them. And I don't want any money, meaning I'm not charging anything for this. But afterwards, if you're like, okay, this is worthwhile, you send me a donation. I think that's very simple and fair. Because, hello, I need to eat too. Hello, I'm here. You know, this thing's just free. So I need to make money just as you. Except I'm being a little bit more, I don't know. Yeah.
Weaselly about it?
No, that's not Weasley.
I mean, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I'll tell you why. Like, I even saw an email by Russell Brunson 2 days ago, and he's, you know, great marketing guy. He's a marketer, sales guy, And in his email, he says, I'm going to allow you to watch this training for free. And if you like it, you can pay me at the end. And so does that make Russell Weasley, or does that make him a great marketer, a great salesperson? Is it the fact that Shiva is spiritual? Is that the reason as to why you make it wrong?
That's a great question.
I guess. I mean, it's Russell Brunson. I'm assuming he's actually a salesperson, right? Like that's his problem. That's his actual profession, right?
I mean, he's a marketer, right? Like he's a businessman.
Yeah, that's his actual profession. That's the life that he lives.
Yeah, but I think everyone should learn marketing and sales, whether you're a marketer or not.
So then, what is the difference between a regular person and a supposed yogi or whatever? Like, I thought that their whole thing was the renunciation of all these things. Like, I don't know. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you and Shiva, Leo. What is it you brought up something too? Because you did mention something about his ego. Can you expand more on what you were thinking about with him?
For me, I'm just an advocate of truth. That's all I am, right? So the reason as to why I say all the things to you in this moment is because I believe it as true. I believe there's more that you can learn and expand in this moment. On the other side, I also believe the same for Shiva as well. And when I listen to him in this moment, there's not a lot that I have to say. I guess the only thing that really triggered me was the first podcast interview, due to the fact that he was, putting himself on a pedestal. I'm better than this guy. I don't need to listen. I don't even need to be present. And me coming on as a guest, it didn't felt like you're playing a game or an act. So that was my first experience of you. And then watching the following episode after, where you say, I don't really have respect for this guy, whatever, what has he done, blah, blah. I'm like, it didn't land well with me. So, I don't know if you want to speak to that, but that triggered me.
Yeah, Kailash Shambo, what's your issue with Leo? Because you also had some issues with him behind the scenes, so talk about it.
Yes, firstly, I want to apologize, truthfully. I'm gonna have to change this about my personality. That wasn't a wise thing to say. It's something I don't. It's very uncomfortable.
Say it.
So the first podcast that we did, I know how it came across. The circumstances led up to that. I was very sleepy. I barely had any few hours sleep, so I was just literally falling asleep. And also the camera angle and the computer was aside, so you're like, as a whole, I'm not gonna make excuses. I was at fault, no doubt. And yeah, I apologize, truthfully. I didn't mean to say that. I shouldn't have said that, and if I could reverse my words, I would. And definitely, I'll be more respectful to people on my videos, for sure.
Let me ask you this, Shiva, because I had a conversation with Leo about that, and I basically told him, because we were trying to piece it together. I was, and I was saying, why did Shiva act like that? Because you're basically that you're basically of this show. You're part of it. You're my co-host essentially. And then we have somebody comes on who, in my mind, and I think even in yours, we both had to say, hey, this guy has a level of influence. He's done some important things in his life. And we both I thought I was going to be, this would be a good moment for both of us and for the show. And I was really taken back when I saw you acting that way. And so when I was trying to put it together in my mind, I told Leo, and I said, look, what I think it is that Shiva's threatened by you to some degree. And I said, and Leo was like, why would he be threatened by me? I said, well, because you represent everything that I preach to him, essentially. Like what I tell you, Shiva, all the time is that I wish that you could be spiritual, but I also wish that you could have some sort of material success and some more courage in life. And that's basically what I see in Leo. And part of me was like, you know what, that's probably why he was acting that way, because almost it's like you knew. To me, what it felt like is if you knew if you engaged with him at all, that you would have to kind of admit, you know, that your reality would have to kind of fall apart in some way, or that at least maybe that you thought that at least. What do you have to say anything about that at all? Is there any merit to it whatsoever?
Yeah, you're 100% true and accurate. Now I see this now that, yeah, your energy, Leo, I was uncomfortable with it, maybe because of your lifestyle choices or what you've done more towards the kind of material success. And to some extent that kind of irritated me. So I just brushed it off, no, this guy's nothing, whatever. Because I didn't want the energy to come close. You know, I don't want to participate in that, or, you know, I'm kind of actively avoiding that. I'm living here in the forest. So maybe to some extent, for sure, I was threatened by you, and that's literally why I said that. And that's very unfortunate. So I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry for what I said. I take it back, if I can do such a thing. And yes, I have to be more careful how I speak in the future.
I appreciate your transparency. I really do. I take your apologies, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I am curious, Leo, if you could, and I hate to keep poking the bear, but I do want to hear a little bit about what Shiva just mentioned, which is, you know, your lifestyle choices. And I want to hear a little bit about what do you think your lifestyle choices play, what kind of role do those choices play in your spiritual journey? And, you know, do you recommend that path at all, or do you tell people, hey, it's okay to avoid it? What do you think?
When you say lifestyle choices, you mean pursuing wealth? Like what specifically?
Pursuing wealth, pursuing material gain. Like you said, you live kind of like in the club lifestyle, money, women, right? Status. Basically everything that I say that Shiva should go for, you went for, essentially, right? But somehow you both ended up in some kind of a spiritual path. So do you think that there was any importance in you going towards the material wealth and towards the women and the fame, or do you think somebody could be like Shiva and just avoid it all and that have no negative impact on their journey?
I think if you fear it, or you make it wrong, or you judge it in another person, then there is a sign that there is some growth there in pursuing it. In the same way that, you know, you had some judgment, you wanted to keep your energy away from me, Shiva, because I was speaking about that, that could be an indicator that maybe there is some integration to do around your relationship to money and being a wealthy individual. So I believe, that's all I really have to say on that. I think there's a lot of value to pursuing our fears and our judgments.
Yes.
Shambo?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. When I said lifestyle choices, I meant the fact that you're successful in the world, and that kind of irritated me, triggered me. So instead of really investigating into the discomfort, my discomfortability, I just said, no, whatever. No. So yeah. But we're going to be...
So what is, at the end of the day, like, because for what you're doing in your mission, you're going to become a very wealthy individual. And to really heal that relationship with money and being a wealthy person, like, you got to be able to look at someone and be like, actually, cool, like, I can accept that within myself and I welcome that. And that's going to accelerate the abundance flow into your life. There's nothing wrong with us becoming wealthy people. I think it's a great thing.
Yes.
It's going to allow us to serve more people, allow us to impact more people, build the ashram that you want to build, acquire the land, all the things. You know, it's just about what is your intention with the money.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about...
Go ahead, Shiva.
No, what do you want to know?
I want to know, how do you, you know, I understand you apologize and you recognize and all that, but in terms of integration, what do you do with that information that you just heard?
Well, yeah, that's also what I wanted to say, essentially, is that we're going to be recording more podcasts, the three of us. I think we have a good duo here, energetic kind of duo. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I have to integrate this and I have to become more wealthy. I have a lot of, Leo, you have a lot of things to teach me. And yes, so I want to kind of start weighting this podcast down because I want to record a new video about talking about my favorite human being on planet Earth, Sadhguru, because you had some nice words to share with him, Leo, and I want to question you about that.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it.
You down for a second one, Leo?
Let's do it.
All right, give me a second. I'm gonna start over.